Hi, it's Lindsay. It's Friday, November 15th, 2024. And I want to document something about what happened. It's kind of weird. Well, not really, but yeah, in a way. Talk about coincidences or synchronicity. Here's a good example. And this has just happened to me. I mean, in the parking lot at the HEB on in the Creeless Shopping Center here in San Antonio off of what is it? South New Braunfels, I guess is yeah, South New Braunfels, okay? And there's an HEB, if you can see that. The Sally, Subway, the UPS store. I just came from the UPS store. First, I went to the UPS store, then I went into HEB. Now, earlier, prior to my leaving, and it's close to 5 o'clock, and it's Friday. Before I left, I had made a video this afternoon on my computer, my laptop computer, and I mentioned the Eustace Mullins and the Curse of Canaan. I think it's pronounced Canaan. I don't know if it's Curse of Canaan or Curse of Canaan, but it's a book that he wrote, and it has like, I listened to it on an audiobook, but you can also obviously buy the book printed. It's you can find it on Amazon, eBay, whatever. It's not a very well-known book though. Not a lot of people know about it. It's one of those kinds of more obscure books. But anyway, I had mentioned Eustace Mullins again in that book in the video that I was in this video. And so I can't, and then after that, at some point after that, I left to come here to the store, or I think they knew I was coming here because I had to return something to the UPS. I'm always going to the UPS to return things from Amazon quite frequently. And obviously I have to do that on my computer. When I return something, I do the return stuff on the computer. But what's weird, kind of coincidence, is when I was walking into the UPS store, you can kind of see it from here. This is just documenting my strange occurrences here. um and stuff like this happens to me every day, and it is pretty strange, I think. I mean, maybe I'm crazy and paranoid, but I find it a little bit odd. So the UPS store is right there. I don't know if my filming is very good. I'm not very good. It's hard to see through the window, but there's a UPS store. I'm in the parking lot, and I guess I can get out there and film it better because I want to prove that I'm really where I am. See, the UPS store is right there. HEB, UPS parking lot. Okay, yeah. So maybe you can see that I'm not making this stuff up. So anyway, I'm walking into the UPS store, and there's a man I noticed, this kind of elderly man, shorter stature man, he had on some jeans and like a button-down shirt, like one of these I don't know what they're called, a checkered kind of button-down shirt, like a one of these casual button-down shirts that men wear. That's like a, what is it called? There's a certain name for it. I don't know. I don't know much about men's fashion. Anyway, he was well-dressed man, elderly man. He looked like, to me, he probably looked like he was retired military or veteran, perhaps, or who knows, some kind of a intellectual-looking man, just from the way he looked. Looks can be deceiving, but he had on glasses. He had a cane. He had he probably had, he didn't have the best, he was probably had some injuries over his life, or maybe surgeries. He was using a cane. But nonetheless, a walker. Was it a walker that he was using? No, a cane, I think. It was a cane, I think. Yeah, he was using a cane. Something that I believe it was just a cane that he had to help him. But anyway, I did see him when I was going to the door. He was ahead of me, and I was looking at something on my phone, but I was like, well, he went ahead right in front of me. And then I was behind him in line, and he asked something like, he said he asked the people at the young man at the front desk at the register, may I put this on the counter? And he had a box, and it was AT&T, so it was probably like an internet something that he was returning, or something from AT&T. I would imagine it was some kind of one of those boxes, a router for the internet that he was returning. Who knows? I suspect. I do not know, because I know that you can return those to the UPS. I've done it before. If you want to return it and switch services, but I'm always getting asked to switch from AT&T to Spectrum, AT&T, and I've gone back and forth. I use AT&T myself for internet at home, but it was interesting because his name was Mullins, Mullins. I noticed the last name; it was in all black capital letters. I just saw the last name. I was focusing on that. The last name was Mullins, and I had just mentioned Eustace Mullins. I talk a lot about him. Eustace Mullins, and it's spelled the same way, Mullins. Okay, I'm sure it's a fairly common name, right? Mullins. It's probably Irish, Scottish, English, whatever. I imagine. I think probably Irish, but nonetheless, Mullins. And Mullins. Speaking of Eustace Mullins was a retired. He was military. He was Air Force veteran, and he also had lived in San Miguel for a while. So he's an author. And I have his book here as well in my car, the Secrets of the Federal Reserve, that I have here in my car. I keep forgetting to take it out, but this is a book by Eustace Mullins. As you can see, it's Mullins, Eustace Mullins. See? Well, anyway, the man in the UPS had the same name, and I was just like, well, that's quite a coincidence. That's a little bit of a, call me crazy and paranoid, but I found it to be a little bit coincidental, or synchronicity, I guess. I know that sounds silly because it's like I said, but I thought it was a little bit of a coincidence, so that happened. And then I was just standing behind him, right? And this woman, and then all of a sudden these people come in. All these people come in. There was like a woman with her nurse, or the caretaker nurse outfit, and she said something to me like, well, why don't you get in line? I said, I am in line. Or she said, you can stand over there. I said, I know, you can stand over there if you want. And she had, her eye was all messed up. I noticed her left eye looked like she was all swollen and kind of injured or something, that she had an infection. And she had on like one of these nurses. And I'm like, what the fuck? She's telling me to go get in line. I'm like, I am in line. And I didn't want to get into an argument with her, but she was trying to tell me, like acting like I was stupid and insulting me in front of all these people, just trying to make a fucking scene, right? Literally. And I was just like, I don't want to I'm in line. You can go get it behind. You know what I mean? She was trying to start an argument, was what she was trying to do, clearly. And I just played it fucking off like I didn't, acted like I was stupid, And then this woman, and then right after that, a black woman comes in. Looks like she's probably wearing a wig, black woman, all smiling and laughing, because a lot of times they look so happy and they're whatever, just black woman. And then this little young man who looked like he was mentally retarded. He had that mentally retarded, look about him. And he was mentally retarded. You could tell from his features. I'm not making fun of mentally retarded people. And I say retarded because people assume I'm fucking stupid and retarded. I don't go around making fun of mentally retarded people that are actually, mentally retarded. I don't do that. I'm not, but I'm just saying, it was like, oh my God. It seemed like such a fucking act. Like everybody in there was putting on an act. Literally. Like, it's like every time I go into the UPS store or the Dollar Tree, or a lot of times HEB, it's like people are literally, because understand that these places, establishments of business, have surveillance cameras, right? And so these people, it seems like when I get stalked, this organized stalking shit, they love to try to, it's like they really like to get attention with these cameras. They want to do shit on camera to get attention, you see. And then as soon as I go into the HEB, as soon as I go in there, I notice a police officer walking in right behind me. A man, a bald, okay, yeah. This is all meant to, like, they do it in ways to make you feel stupid or ugly or making fun of your appearance or hair or this is all fucking government harassment shit based on appearance. And this is all proof. What I'm talking about is not a joke. I swear to God, this is not done by accident. He was following me in the fucking store when I walked in, and then when I got out, he was on his phone right by the area of the food area, like the prepared foods, doing something on his fucking phone, looking at me. I'm like, oh wow, that couldn't be any more fucking obvious, could it? Okay, yeah, right. Okay. And so I was like, I just ignore it. I just ignore this stuff because I get followed around by private security officers, police, uniformed, whatever, security all the time, all the fucking time, all the time. And I could have fucking had my camera in there and filmed it, but I didn't. I used to film in the store, but I could start doing that again to prove this stuff as a targeted person. And so that happened. And then as I'm walking to my car, I come back to my car and I'm still parked over not far from the UPS here, which is quite a ways from the HEB. Not too far. It's in the same, shopping center, but it's still quite a ways from the HEB. No, it's in a different parking. It's not HEB per se parking lot, but it's in the large parking lot here by the HEB. And I'm going into my car, getting in my car and putting the things away in my car, and there's a dog that comes running up to me, a little dog, a stray dog, running right towards me, literally like running towards me. Like there's nobody else in the parking lot. And that area of the parking lot is empty. There aren't any cars. Like I'm pointing to the parking lot area where the dog comes running, right over here, that area. And by that time, there were no cars parked there at all. And then all of a sudden, I see that dog running towards me, and it's like, and he had I don't know if he's a stray, whatever he could be. He probably lives in the neighborhood over here, but he's some kind of a mixed breed dog, and he's running towards me, looking at me, and I'm thinking, oh my God, just kind of whatever, trying to, and he's kind of wanting to stop, but then he goes on, and I sort of like stopped in my tracks and snapped my fingers, and he kept going, but he was looking at me, and the dog had like brownish, kind of golden blonde hair. I'm just thinking, okay, that was weird. And then there's a lady, it's like, and the lady in the truck, there's a woman in a big truck, a red pickup truck, who was walking to her car at the same time that I was getting in my car, and she was just like getting on her phone the whole time, doing something on her phone, like acting like they knew it was almost like the whole thing was a synchronized street theater skit, and it wouldn't surprise me if it was, because this is kind of crap that happens to me every day, every time I go out in public, especially because I'm always in this area. So whatever. I was like, okay. And I just had to document that because this is a kind of weird thing that happens to me. And you might think that's not weird. You're crazy. No, it is. It is. This is